All right, gang, I am off to the cinema tonight to go check out Power Rangers. Let's do this.
This is your time.
Okay, I should probably preface this whole review by saying I am not a huge Power Rangers fan. I never grew up with the series.
What? No.
I know very little about the Power Rangers outside of the few episodes of the TV series that I watched. Make that endured. And you know what? I'm going to be a bit of a snob by saying, you know, as a child, I grew up with Star Wars. Other kids from a later generation grew up with Power Rangers. Yeah, I think I had a way more awesome childhood. All right, gang, I just got out of Power Rangers. Yeah.
Do you feel it? Deep down inside.
This film made me oddly crave donuts. Watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. Trust me.
What?
Anyone that's really sort of familiar with the core mythology of the Power Rangers certainly doesn't need it really explained or embellished by me, especially considering that I am an outsider to this franchise, and I do not profess to be an expert in any way.
None of us really know each other.
We're all screw-ups.
Basically, it is about a bunch of teenagers who are recruited by this ancient being known as Zordon to become a series of battle-armored, empowered warriors to protect the Earth from evil of all forms, shapes, and sizes for that matter.
You five are the Power Rangers.
Did I just hear you say we're Power Rangers?
Is this some kind of joke? We're talking to a wall.
I was kind of expecting a little more.
That's the basic crutch of this movie. It certainly is not trying to radically stray away from the overall premise and formula of the Power Rangers TV series. Now, one thing that the Power Rangers movie does really, really well, and actually kind of surprisingly well, is that it actually makes you care about all of these teenage characters who eventually become costume superheroes. And there's a great amount of time taken, like an elaborately long amount of time taken to really sort of establish these characters as flesh and blood people. This is a very, I guess, gritty and grounded Power Rangers movie, if I could ever describe it as such.
Do you feel weird?
We're strong. Insanely strong.
There's also a clear-cut attempt to develop backstories to these characters and give them distinct personalities. And
My house is on the other side of the mountain. I hike these trails sometimes, clear my head, and I stare down at Angel Grove and wonder how such a small crap town could cause me such misery.
That's a really sort of bold approach for this type of material because, quite frankly, I really wasn't expecting to have characters in a Power Rangers movie to be as fleshed out as they were here.
So why don't you leave? You know, just go. I could leave here, you know.
Where?
Got it, anywhere.
I found that really kind of refreshing. This is a movie that doesn't rush itself out of the gate by unleashing a lot of comic book inspired action and intrigue. No, it's really interested in exploring the personas behind the mask. So
Please tell us one thing you did today.
Me and 4 kids from Angel Grove found a spaceship buried underground.
What?
And you know, the actors who are playing all these teen characters, they're really solid. Like, they have a really good, tangible chemistry. I think they really, they take these parts seriously, sometimes as seriously as a heart attack. Also, the film sort of takes itself as seriously as a heart attack, but I'll get to that in a little bit.
Is to remind me of my screw-up?
You know, I don't think we're ever going to understand each other. They're gonna come here every Saturday just to graduate with all these other weirdos and criminals.
Yeah, I really like the actors. I think they're really agreeable, and I think they work well off of one another. And you know what? I would have no problem seeing another Power Rangers movie with this cast. I think they're really good.
But close watch on this heart of mine. I keep...
You know, having said that, this movie is really, really silly.
I'm gonna jump across with her, and then you jump. Piece of cake.
Let's go.
No, don't jump. Jason! That's not a piece of cake!
Like, when you get down to the core Power Rangers formula, it's a very preposterous concept. Yet this film really wants to sort of take itself, again, very, very seriously, while embracing its more ludicrous elements. And there are times where I thought that Power Rangers really didn't fundamentally understand the type of tone that it really wanted to have.
I was kind of expecting a little more.
The film is sort of a conflict of mood and tone throughout, and it really can't establish a singular tone throughout its running time. And then, of course, there's some really puzzling inclusions in this film, like the inclusion of Bryan Cranston, who plays Zordon in this film.
You clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in.
Bryan Cranston is one of our, I think our great dramatic actors. I mean, if you're doubting that assertion, you definitely have not seen Breaking Bad.
I am the danger.
But when I heard that he was being cast as Zordon, I mean, it's kind of a nothing role for the actor. I mean, I certainly don't think it's a role that makes adequate use of his thespian talents and range.
Power Rangers were a legion of warriors. You must become those warriors.
And I will give him credit for one thing. He is a real game trooper when it comes to promoting this film, especially with a lot of his talk show appearances. I think there was one talk show appearance where he appeared in full armor, so I'm like, I gotta give my props to Cranston. He's a good sport in all this. The main villain of the film, what the hell's her name? Rita Repulsa? I think that's her name.
I will destroy everything.
She is pure evil.
She's played by Elizabeth Banks. Now, for as much sort of authentic verisimilitude that all the young actors try to bring to the table in their respective parts, I think Elizabeth Banks, it's kind of like her character sort of walked in from an entirely different film altogether to populate this movie. So
Killed Rangers before.
So she clearly is having fun in this part, but it's really campy and it's really overdone.
How do you expect us to stop her?
This film is also really over-directed. Again, there's this make it sort of look almost like a faux documentary at times, and sometimes it's really disorienting, sometimes it's very distracting, sometimes it's way too showy for its own good. There's a very early scene that takes place in a car where the camera is spinning around in 360 degrees over and over again, and for me, it just made it very difficult for me to try to discern what in the hell is going on in this scene. I think it's just a case in point where sometimes a clean and precise directorial approach with clarity is often the best choice. So I can't believe that I'm even talking about the finer aspects of direction in a Power Rangers movie.
It's a lot of gold.
It just sounds kind of weird.
I'm strong.
How strong?
Insanely strong. No. Damn, dude.
I think fans of the Power Rangers series, like especially children that grew up with the TV show that are now adults that are going to see this film, will probably come out enjoying it. As sort of a hopeless outsider coming into this movie, I can say that there were certainly aspects of it that I did like and I did admire. I really liked the young cast. I really liked the spirited level of camaraderie that they had in the film.
It's just a hologram, like a video game. That's a strong-ass hologram. Not a video game.
And again, this is just not a film that's made for me. It's made for fans of the series, so if you're a fan of the series, you'll like it. If not, I think this movie is going to be mostly disposable.
Let's go!
So there you go. There's my review of Power Rangers. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the film. Also, let me know in the comments below whether or not you grew up with Power Rangers, whether you're a fan of the TV show, and whether or not you really like this film adaptation.
All right then. Morphin' time!
It's morphin' time. Do it better than anybody you ever seen.
Once again, thank you very much for watching. If you could like this video, I'd really appreciate it. If you could subscribe to my channel and give me some subscribe love, that would mean the world to me. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you at the movies. Power Rangers, let's go!